Hi students, this is Mrs. Howlett, and for Media Today, we are going to be doing some coding to celebrate the Hour of Code Week and Computer Science Week. So today you will understand that coding is putting together a set of instructions for a computer to follow. You will show me that you understand how coding works by solving problems on code.org. Now today we're going to just stay on one website for coding. Next time we're going to explore some other ones as well. So as I was saying, this week is the celebration of the Hour of Code, and there's many different websites that have Hour of Code activities, including code.org. And computer science is just the study of how computers work and making different programs to make computers work and other things work. Computers have a certain code or set of directions to make things run so that when you do activities on a website or when you play a video game, each button that you push makes the computer do a certain thing or makes you score a point or makes you move your game to another spot. So computer coding is really important because in the future, we don't know what jobs are going to be available, and more than likely, it's going to involve more technology as years go by. So it's a good opportunity for you to try. Even if you don't end up with a job in computer science and computer coding, it is a great opportunity for you to do problem solving, because as you are solving the problems, if the code doesn't work, then you have to try again and see if you can fix or finish the code in order to solve the problems or the puzzles. We're going to be on code.org course 2 in Code Studio today, and I'll show you how to get there in a little bit. But you're going to kind of get to choose which activity you want to start with. There is a choice of maze with the Angry Birds, artist, bees. I'll show you a couple different ones that you can choose from. Whichever one you want to choose with, you'll start with the first sequence or the first number one and then work your way through that activity. Then you can go ahead and choose another one. This is going to be very similar to what you did last year if you were with me last year with coding, although it's going to be kind of stepped up a little notch and a little bit more difficult. And when you get to this page, you can watch the videos if you would like. I'm going to skip over those because the video inside my video doesn't run very well. The object of the game is to try to get Angry Bird to the pig. What you're going to be doing in course 2 versus course 1, which you may have tried last year, is that you are going to have to determine which way Angry Bird needs to turn. So instead of just going north or going south, you're going to have to decide whether he's going to turn left or turn right. From his perspective, might be the opposite of your perspective. So you'll just start out by taking the blocks of directions and snapping them together in the workspace to have him follow the direction. So move forward, and then you'll run the program, and the Angry Bird will do the directions that you give it. If you give it the wrong directions, then it will do those directions, but it will be incorrect. I'm going to jump up here just a second to show you a little bit more complicated one, because it does get a little trickier as it goes on, because you have to determine from Angry Bird's perspective which way to turn. So for example, if I have him turn left from the spot he's at, he's going to be facing up or north. And then he can move forward. And then he's going to turn to his right. Okay, so he's going to turn left, move forward, turn right, and then continue moving forward to get all the way to the end of the row. Then he's going to be facing east and we'll have to turn right again to be facing down and then move forward again. If I run the program and then decide that one of the turns is incorrect, I can always click on the drop-down menu and flip the direction to the opposite direction to make it run correctly. So if you don't get it right the first time, it will say incorrect, and then you can fix or finish something to make it correct. I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the other choices. The maze sequence is the Angry Birds. The artist sequence is very similar. All these are very similar. You're making your way through a puzzle, but you're going to have an artist with a pencil, and the artist is going to draw the lines. And again, I would stop and watch the videos because that's going to give you some hints and help. The artist sequence is a little trickier because it involves some geometry and some things you haven't quite learned yet. So this is going to be a little bit more of a challenge. So you're going to have it move forward, and the instructions up here will give you some hints. I'm going to turn right by 90 degrees because that's a right angle, and then continue moving forward to finish the other half of the square. So that's the artist. You can draw all kinds of shapes and have it follow the pencil all the way around the shape. Some of the other choices are back to Angry Birds maze loops, which will just give you repeats to not use so many blocks, but to repeat the action. Bee, where the bee will be going down the path, collecting nectar from the flowers and then making honey. So there's some activities like that. More artists debugging. Whenever it says debugging, that means it might give you part of the code and then you have to fix or finish the code in order to make it work. So you're kind of checking or fixing the code. Down towards the bottom, there's some activities with Flappy, like Flappy Bird, and also a play lab where you create a story. So those are some other activities as well. So whichever one you start with the number 1 and then just continue working through the activity. And then if you decide that you want to change to a different activity, just come up here to where it says more in a drop-down menu, and then you can switch down and go down to another activity that you'd like to choose from. But we're just going to stay here on course 2. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to get there, and you can go through the steps with me, and so we'll all end up on the right place. I'm going to start from the 3rd grade SimBlue. So if you haven't logged in, I would like you to log in. And if you have logged in, I would like you to go ahead and make your way to the 3rd grade SimBlue by going on the Southeast Polk screen and going to Student Portal and Classroom Links. On the 3rd grade SimBlue, there is a shortcut to code.org located in the 3rd row on a white tile with a tiny little circle, almost looks like a globe, a picture of the earth, and it says code.org. So that's going to take you to the main page for code.org. We are going to be going to Code Studio, so you will need to scroll down and come over here to the Students purple section, and you will see where it says Try Code Studio. So you're going to click on Code Studio, and we're going to try Course 2. So Course 2. If you discover that Course 2 is really difficult for you, you could go down to Course 1. I am not going to have anybody go on to Course 3 today, though. So Course 2, and then here's where your menu is. Again, maze sequence is the Angry Birds. Artist sequence is the little icon with the pencil. There's bees down below. There's other different types of debugging, conditionals, loops, some Flappy, and Play Lab at the bottom. If you go down to a really stage far below and then it's really hard, come back up towards the top and try, stages 3 through 5. That might be a little bit easier. I'm going to go ahead and put up the instructions as you're choosing which of those activities you would like to do. Okay, so again, if for some reason you exit out accidentally, go to code.org, try Code Studio and Course 2. So make sure you put the steps of the direction or the code together. You're going to hit run to make it work, and then do some problem solving. If something isn't working, see if you can work it out before you ask for help, and try your best.